Hi, today I'll be working on my 2013 Honda Civic Hybrid. That's the car there. And I'm replacing the DC to DC converter assembly, which is right here. That came out of that car. And the hybrid battery assembly. That's the old one here. I just had a bad DC to DC converter, which I was able to ascertain by pulling the code off the I put a reader on it and then came back with a code. It was, I forget what the code was. I believe it was P1440. And I called a company called Green Tech, and they confirmed that it was indeed the DC to DC converter that was defective. And so they sold one, and what happened was I let the car sit for about 4 or 5 months, and trying to figure out if I wanted to spend that kind of money on it, because the car's got 226,000 miles on it. But I decided to go ahead and go for it, because actually I put a newer engine and transmission in that car when it was at 165,000 miles, so actually the car's got a lot less miles than what's on the odometer. So, and I like it. It's got leather interior and everything. It gets 40 miles a gallon. So I just decided to go ahead and put another $3,500 into it, which is what the DC to DC converter and the battery together go for. And I purchased the DC to DC converter from a company called Bumblebee, which I believe it was $14.95, and then I bought the battery assembly from Green Tech, which I think was $17.95, or it might have been vice versa. Anyway, Green Tech and Bumblebee both make these assemblies. One's a little bit cheaper than the other, but I use both of them. So here's the battery assembly, which is really easy. It's only got 2 connections. That one there, and then this one here. Oh, and a third one here. And you always want to make sure that this on-off switch here is in the off position when you're servicing it, and make sure you're wearing some real good insulated rubber gloves. This is the DC to DC converter, which is a little bit more complicated, but not too bad. You've got this connector here, this one here, this one here, this one here. Here's a ground. And you've got 3 here, which I marked UVW. You've got another one there, and then this one here, and this little one here, and then this other ground. So it's not too bad. I think it was Green Tech offered to replace it if I took it into a mechanic for $500. I've decided to do it myself. I'm glad I did. Save $500 that way. Here I'll show you the car. Here's the car. I'm going to show you what you get when your battery and or DC to DC converter is bad. The car will start without the hybrid battery working. So you'll get check charging system, check IMA system, check brake system. You also get an engine light and a battery light, just all kinds of dummy lights. And I'm duplicating this problem by just switching the power off on the hybrid battery. But that's basically what I was getting. That's what it looks like with the back seat out. You can go watch other videos how to take the back seat out. It's real easy. This is the plate, the panel that goes over all the electronics. And so you just have like a Torx there, Torx, another Torx. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I believe 10 total bolts that you need to take out. That's the battery switch. You want to make sure it's in the off position before you do any servicing. You also want to make sure you disconnect the battery. So that is the main one, going from the battery to the DC converter that you want to take off. That is also connects the DC to DC converter to the battery. So that's 2. This one here, you have to disconnect that one. These 3 here, have to disconnect those. And make sure you mark them, because these little labels come off. That one's still on, but the other ones fell off. So U, V, W. You want to make sure that those are well marked. Then this one, that one there, this ground here, this one up there, that one there, that one there, and that ground wire. And I believe that's all of them. 4 bolts holds the DC to DC converter in. That one. Actually, those are just wing nuts. Those are nuts. So 2 nuts at top. And then that bolt and that bolt. And then on the battery, it's this bolt, that nut, sorry, and that nut. So pretty easy. Like I said, make sure you wear gloves when you're doing it. You don't want to get shocked. You will not have a good day if you get shocked. Switching the battery back on. And this is what you should get. All the dummy lights go away. No more dummy lights. Well, except that one there. I just have to clear that one. But everything else pretty much went away. And I can say that the car does seem to have quite a bit more get up and go with the new battery. So, sorry, my filming really sucks, but I hope this helps somebody. And this should work on 2012 to 2014 Honda Civic. So, that's what it looks like with the plate off. So, okay, good luck.